What is up, Ableton gang? We are back at it again. Today we are going over, well, I should say, this evening we are going over testing the new 12.3 beta. So if you haven't seen it already, we went through all of the notes, all of the different features in the last live stream. You can click the link in the description of this video to get to that video, and I covered every single little thing. Today we're going over the bulk of it, right? We're not going to go over every single little thing, otherwise we would be here literally all day. But we are going over the main stuff that everybody wants to see inside of 12.3. I downloaded the beta and we are ready to go. So shout out to everyone that is in the chat. Drop in the chat right now, what is the best feature? What is your favorite feature of 12.3? There's a lot of really great stuff. Today we're going to be covering the Splice integration, which is fire. We're going to look at how to bounce groups into an audio track. We're going to look at how you can pace bounced audio. We're going to look at the auto pan updates with the tremolo. We're going to look at stem separation, which is a big one. There's also an A/B plugin feature we're going to check out, and the new update to expression chords, which is a dope M4L device that is really, really good for making melodies on the fly with chords and all kinds of stuff. It's really dope. I actually would use it. I do use it. So let's jump in right now and get into this. I'm super excited. Let's start with Splice integration. So here is 12.3 right here. All right. You'll notice that down here, there is a new place called Splice. And boom, if you click on it, hopefully it doesn't open up the settings. Good. Okay. If you click on it, Splice opens up and you have access to all of your Splice stuff here. If you're not in an account or you don't have an account, you can sign up for a free account. And by the way, there's free stuff in here for us Ableton users. How crazy is that? I had no idea. Oh shit, oh shit, oh. So I guess Ableton added some stuff for us because like I have 0 credits. I don't have like an active subscription right now. Well, I don't have credits at least. But for instance, if you want to go like look for some vocals or something, there's a section that is called Ableton included right here. So Ableton actually added it and it says included right next to it. So we're just in the vocal group right now. This is how much Ableton gave us. Look at. It just keeps going, dude. Ableton hooked us up. Okay. And obviously this is the stuff that you buy and pay for. It's all the same. In fact, was there multiple pages there? No. Okay. I was going to say, but Ableton included a bunch of stuff for us. Let's check it out.
Lonely is the person that...
That's fire. So someone went in here and made a bunch of stuff for us, and that's just the vocals, like I said. I wonder if we can, if I just go to the Ableton included stuff, like take off Vox, I want to see like how much is there. Interesting. If I just hit clear, it looks like it already is cleared. Well, no, because this is still under Vox, right? Yeah, so... But we have drums, synth, bass. Let's look at the synth really quick too, because I just want to see like how much did Ableton add? They went crazy in here. Okay, here we go. Here's the synth stuff, and as you can see, there's a good amount. Did I see company up there too? Oh, Quicks. These are some like professional artists here. Damn. So these artists must have all contributed to this, because I know Quicks right off the top of the hat. I saw company in here somewhere. Must have scrolled over it really fast. We got Soul Surplus hooking us up. Oh shit, son. That is free for us. Just for Ableton. Shout out to Ableton for that, man. I can't say it enough. That shit is hard. So yeah, there you go. You have all the Splice stuff that you'd have, plus the free Ableton stuff. By the way, I also made a free account using a random email that I haven't made yet, and this was all included anyway, so don't think it's just because like I used to have an active subscription. It's for everybody. You just have to make an account if you don't have one. So that's dope. Another cool thing about this Splice feature is you can really drag something in here, such as like the MIDI from your keys. You know what I did earlier is I dragged in this 808 clip, and somehow it knew that it was like a bass or an 808, because when I dragged it in here, it started giving me like bass samples. Give it a second to process here. And look, it gives us bass loops. Probably in the same key as well. I can't see the full name of it there. Oh, actually, if I make this tab bigger, that's a good thing to check out too. If I make the tab bigger, does it? Yep, there you go. It pulls out, and there we go. We're in D sharp minor, which you can see. Well, this is actually in D minor. Let's see. I think I just had the scale turned off here. Maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. Yeah, okay, so I am wrong. It is in C minor. But it gave us, somehow it realized that was bass. So that's kind of cool. The other thing that I saw in the Ableton video, okay, is that you can drag in like chords, for instance. And I'm guessing it would come up with the right key if you're using chords. So I don't even know if I have a chord in this one, but let's see. If I went in here and I built like a basic chord. We'll just duplicate that out, and then I threw it in here. It can take the chords. Actually, I think we have to go back? What if I delete it? You got to delete the reference. Okay, there we go. And then we'll put it back in. Also, what's cool about this is it has your library of sounds built into it too. So everything you've already paid for and you've liked, you can go in here and see all of that. Now, if I go home, is it going to reset it? Or is it going to pick up where we left off? Okay, good. It picked up where we left off. That's fire. So if you want to like play around and look around while that's waiting, you can do that. That's dope. Okay. Okay, here we are. We're in C minor, so it looks like I figured it out that time. That's sick. So there's multiple ways of doing it. That one looks like it's in D sharp, but regardless. So that's cool. Let's go back. Okay. So yeah, you also have your library of sounds. So you'll see, I think I have some drum one-shots in here. Yeah, I got some decap sounds. So you have all your sounds that you've downloaded at a glance as well. Your likes, your collections. Would I only like one of them? Well, yeah, it's a pretty hard snare, not gonna lie. And it's just gonna keep going until you press that stop or you click into another thing here. So you have your likes. You have a back and forward button too, which is pretty cool. So if you want to go back, you can do it easily that way without having to like start over. You even have collections. This is a daily pick from Splice. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I saved this collection on my account. I don't remember, but it's there. So yeah, you can go through your library. I'm not going to go into my settings because it's going to show all my information, but that's how you can log out. And it shows you it's like your personal settings, right, for your account. You can resubscribe up here if you need to do that. And yeah, so you can see that it's built right in here. How cool is that? And you can change your key. You can change how many bars you want it to be. You can do all of that. You have everything for literally filtering it and finding exactly what you want, what you would expect in the app. So now we don't have to have the Splice app open. It's right here in Ableton. How fire is that? So that is the Splice thing. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because you guys get the gist, right? But let's take a look at this bouncing groups. And this is fire because this is something that we've been asking for a while. So there's something about this, all right? You have one option. So normally you can, you can bounce track in place or you can bounce to a new track. Well, when you're doing the group, you only bounce it in place. So what it's going to do is it's going to take your group and turn it into one audio track, okay? It's not going to bounce it to a new lane, which maybe they'll add that in the future. This is the first day that the beta has been released, so they could still be working on things, all right? So don't hold them to that just yet. They seem to add a bunch of stuff as time goes on. But as you can see right now, it got rid of my group and it bounced it out, but it did a great job. And the cool thing is that it also bounces all of the effects and everything that's on the group. So it combines it all, right? It does the effects and all of the layers underneath it, and it puts it into one track. But it would be cool if they found a bounce to new track option, kind of like they did with audio. But right now, it just doesn't exist. So maybe it will in the future. Maybe there's a reason they did it that way. But yeah, as you can see, that is how you would do that. So that's cool. It works right out of the box, and you can hear it. Sounds exactly the same, with or without it. So there you go. That's bounce in groups, right? Not much more to go over with that. We can also paste bounced audio. Now I played around with this a little bit, and if you just like paste this audio, for instance, it's not considered bounced, right? Even though I'm on an audio track here, if I go to paste it, I'm doing Command C, Command V. You could use Control if you're on Windows. It's gonna paste the MIDI and turn it into a MIDI track. If I press Command Z, back to an audio track. But if it's frozen and I copy it, boom, there you go. Now we have the bounced MIDI. So that works that way. So it has to be either frozen or bounced, but now you can copy and paste that, and that's a pretty cool feature in my opinion. Now I tried to look in here to see if you could do it without like freezing it, but I'm not sure you can here. Maybe I'm missing something. So regardless, guys, I'm going to be doing detailed videos on every single one of these features. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. I'm going to be going into every one of these features, making Ableton videos so that we cover every little thing. And I'm going to look into everything like this. Like, is there a way to do it without freezing it? I'm going to find that out when I have more time to really sit and digest everything. So definitely subscribe and look forward to those. Those videos will be coming out very, very soon. So yeah, that's dope. That's a lot more that we can do. It's nice to be able to bounce the entire group, because doing each thing individually, I mean, the other way to do with the group, it would be to, you know, resample it onto a new audio lane. You could resample it, and you could just solo that group, and that would be one way to do it, right? But then you got to wait for the whole thing to go. So you're sitting here waiting. That is how you would do it up until now, where we have that option to bounce it all to a lane. So that's pretty cool now that we have that option. You could always make a duplicate copy of this and then bounce one of them, and you could do it that way, but I'm sure Ableton will add that in the future. That they added it for the other audio bouncing, so I'm sure they would do it that way. Moving on, AutoPan updates. AutoPan got a huge update, and they added a tremolo feature to it as well. And I love that they're doing that. They're not just adding another plugin, because there's already so many things, right? So it's like, we don't need another plugin. Like, look at all this. Like, we are so blessed to have every single effect you can think of. But you can see right here, they even changed the name to AutoPan-Tremolo. In fact, I'm probably blocking it with my face. So let me move up here. Boom. So you can see it's called AutoPan-Tremolo right here. And as you can see, it looks a lot different. In fact, maybe I should do this. Let's go in here to display, and we'll make this a little bit bigger so that you guys can see it better. Cool. So that's the new AutoPan right there. Let's solo the melody. And we have the AutoPan going. Let's turn it up 100%, so it's panning from left to right. Now we have the tremolo, which is going to affect like the volume coming in and out, right? And you have a shape thing here. You almost get like that tinny aspect that EDM's doing a lot with the vocals and things, or you can go the other way with it. So we have an attack modulation thing. It says attack time, the time necessary to reach the maximum amount of modulation after an onset is detected. Interesting. Okay, so you can literally dial it in by the milliseconds there. And then we have the dynamic frequency modulation. It says louder signals will cause the LFO frequency to change over time. Positive values will make it faster. Negative values will make it slower. Okay, yeah, you can hear it in the loudness. Interesting. Okay. So you don't just have the rate, or I guess the frequency in this case. Okay, I was wondering about that. I was like, do we have a timed thing? Because you can be more precise with like synced, for instance. You could get a more precise value, unless you're trying to like automate it. So this thing goes hard. What else we got here? We have a harmonic tremolo mode. The LFO modulation will cause low frequency signal components to alternate in level with the high frequency. So it kind of like combines them together. There's something like this on, what is it, Roar? I believe Roar has something like this. So it's the way that it mixes the signal, right? yeah, Roar has this right here, which is similar, right? If you want it to shelf it and let it just blow through, or if you want it to mix it so that the highs and lows are kind of like mixed together better. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but a fixed crossover of 600 hertz is utilized. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, it finds the sweet spot of the band so that it makes it. That's interesting. You can hear it sounds a lot more well put together. Oh, then we have the vintage tremolo mode, which introduces subtle time variant saturation alongside the tremolo by modulating the intensity of a nonlinear curve. And you can do both of them. So that's cool. You have triplet, dotted 16th, everything you'd expect in the other plugins with the other plugins. You can invert the LFO, that's cool. We have a phase offset. And you can even play with the phase positioning of it. So yeah, you can go into all that. What is this? Stereo mode, okay, or you can put it into stereo mode. Come on. So you can toggle between stereo and offset here. So we can add what? Yeah, we're adding stereo width. Is that what it does here? Or is this the spin? Ah, so this is spin. This detunes the left and right LFOs relative to each other. Interesting. So there's a lot going on here, guys. There's a lot. And you have your panning, and you can do all of this stuff in panning as well. In fact, I wonder if all of that is off, because you see it's grayed out, so I'm sitting here listening to it and nothing's happening. That's probably why, because that's only for the panning mode. Oh yeah, okay, definitely. Yep, there you go. So that's only for panning. But yeah, as you can see, panning has all of these crazy effects as well. It's been majorly updated. We got all these different wave shapes in panning, not in here. This one's going to go by the rate. But yeah, man, a lot of updates here. Ableton's going nuts. And that is the auto pan and tremolo update. What's next? Okay, the crazy one, stem separation. I was playing with this before everything, and it can take a very long time to do this. It depends, right, on the file. If you have like a big file size, like a full song, like for instance this Joyner Lucas song, how long is it here? It's like almost 4 minutes. It's like 3.5 minutes here. That took like a good like minute or two to go, or maybe even longer. It takes a while for these big ones, especially. So I was not about to sit here on live and make you guys wait for that. So I did 3 random ones. I just picked ones at random so you could see that the results are very even across all of them. It does a very good job. It all sounds the same across the board. So I'm not going to play the actual song. Otherwise, we're going to get copyright and I'm going to have to take it out of this video. But if you know this song, Cut You Off, we can literally look at the individual things and you can see here. So let's see. And I'm telling you, it does a really great job. Like you could steal some of these bass elements for your own beats in some of them. And these other ones, like the kick sample, you could take the kick right out of there. So let's hear the bass on this first. So the hi-hats sound a little bit tinny, but you could literally go in here and steal that kick sample. Or that snare. Sounds fire, fam. Like, see how good of a job it does there?
You ain't real, I knew it. You too good at playing peek out.
And we got the melody down here.
You ain't real, I knew it. You too good at playing peek.
Okay, if we do much more than that, we're gonna get claimed. So yeah, it does a really great job. And like I said, I picked 3 things at random here because I didn't want to pick ones that just worked really well, right? So we got Bluffin' by Lil Baby and Gucci Mane. And then I even did one of my own beats because I wanted to see how it would do because I don't have vocals on that beat. And what it did was, it's actually very interesting. So We got the drums, vocals, and bass. Let's start off with the bass here. And the drums. Okay, let's just.
Call yourself. I got 5 cell phones. Tell a nigga to call you when I can. Need a camera crew. Everything we do, it should be on film.
So yeah, pretty sick. I'm trying to be very careful about how I structure this.
You call yourself. I got 5 cell phones. Tell a nigga to call.
So there you go, man. It works really, really well. Now I did this beat, the one that you heard on the intro. In fact, I wanted to see how it would do, because the 808 in this one is absolutely disgusting and it's super distorted. I want to see how it would do with the elements, and the elements are all distorted to crap, just like you would think. So, I mean, what can you expect, right? It's funny, so for the vocals, it actually picked up that vocal chant at the beginning. Hey, I mean, that's correct. I can't say it's not. Drums. You can hear the distortion. But if you play it all together, it sounds correct. And we can, just so you can hear it, there's the actual beat. So the stem separation is really cool how it works. Let me go into this folder here. Which one did I put it? I think I put it in the AB because I like the AB a bunch of mixes. But you can do it right here, right? You can separate stems to new audio tracks. Otherwise, you could do it right here. You could pull it in. Let's unwarp it though. It does take a long time because it tries to warp it to the BPM. And you can do it this way. Where the is it? Okay, separate stems to new audio tracks. So you can do it that way, and I believe there was another way that you could do it as well. But I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I wanted to see, because I haven't done this yet. Is there a, I don't know how long these songs are, so it'd be hard to know. But yeah, let's not, I know that for sure is going to get. Alright, can I do it without playing it? Okay, cool, there you go. So if you say separate stems to audio tracks, I'm seeing, I want to know, does it put it in your project or does it put it in the folder? Because we're doing it inside of the folder. And look at this, looks a little bit different than when it was doing it inside the project. So I'm interested to see what it does. The cool thing too is, as you saw, it puts all those stems into a group. So it doesn't just put the stems on audio tracks, it groups everything together, which is really cool. I didn't know it was going to do that until I actually got in Ableton and tried it. So, and this is exactly why I didn't do it on the live stream, but it felt like it just added something. Look at this, 2%, buddy, get out of here. I ain't waiting. Nice try. That's why I did it ahead of time. So, I wish I could tell you. Actually, hold on, let me try this really quick, because I did the one beat I had. I hope there's nothing crazy here. Where's that beat I made? I made that one, but the one that I just showed you, I looped it. What's this called? Ring Ring? Let's try it with that one because it's a very short in comparison. Boom. Alright, so let's try it with this because that's more realistic and hopefully it goes a little faster. 2%, man, what are we talking? We're gonna be here literally all day. Okay, good. We're already the separating stems, so like the first step it just ran through. I'm gonna give you about 30 more seconds here before we say adios, turd nuggets. Are you serious? So, Remember, this is still very beta, right? This is the first day that the beta has been out. So this option right here, it just might not be fully up to speed yet. They're probably going to optimize it, make it faster, and all that good stuff. The next thing we're going to take a look at, though, is the AB plugin feature. So now every single Ableton audio effect, like every single effect, well, I don't know about the M for all devices because everyone would have to update them, but all of the effects now have an AB feature. So if you want to test out two different versions of the same thing, you can do it that way. Holy smokes, man. I just want to know. Imagine if I tried to do a full strong song while live streaming right now. How long that would take, because this is like 16 bars. All right, we're going to wait because we're so close. We're so close. We got this. So yeah, we're going to look at the A being next. So it's almost like it could be like a dry or wet, or you could try two different EQs. I looked at it on the EQ originally when I was preparing for this video, but you could have an EQ with a certain thing and then another one, and you can see and test if it works better. Okay, so it made an audio lane. Okay, so it did. It put it right into our project right here. Same thing it did before. Nice. Okay. Okay, so that's what it did. I was wondering what it would do. So yeah, if you do it in here, it's still going to put it in your project. You don't have to drag it in. That's kind of cool. So you don't have to waste an audio lane or whatever. Good, I'm glad we're able to do that. Let's look at the A being as well. So, I mean, we could do this on the hi-hats, or let's do the 808. Okay, cool. So let's grab the EQ8, for example, and now this is on all the effects in Ableton. So what you do to get this to go is you would say right-click. Let me turn this off so we have more room. You can right-click and say switch to B. Otherwise, you can press P. It's actually Shift P, right? Because it's a capital P. So it's Shift and P on Mac. On Windows, I'm guessing it's either Shift or Control. But I'll show you really quick. You can see when you click it, a B shows up, so you know that that is the B track. So let's say you got this, and you're like, I don't know, let's go. And I can switch between them. Obviously, you're not going to low cut your 808s like that, but you get the point. And then if you wanted to, you can copy it right over, right? Copy B to A. And then maybe you want to play around with B again and try it differently, and you're always going to end up using A at the end. So now we go like this, and then we switch to this one, and A has our other signal. So a lot of amazing use cases for that. You can either right-click, and you can do it this way. The copying, I don't think there's a hotkey for that yet, but there may be in the future. So for copying, you're going to have to right-click it, but for switching back and forth, there is a short key for that as well. And that's how you do it. That's how you can A/B two different signals of the same plugin and try a bunch of different things out without having to add a plugin, deactivate the first one, and try again. So that's cool. A lot of like the third-party plugins have that feature, so now all of the Ableton plugins have that feature as well. Okay, we got to go over the Expressive chords update because it got a big update, and I have a synth right here. Is it turned off? Yeah. Okay, so all of the updates are actually in the edit mode. So when you're in here like normal. So that's why this plugin's so cool, because I'm playing one key on the keyboard, and it's giving me all these different chords. So if you don't know shit about chord theory or scale, or music theory, excuse me, you can use this plugin to come up with ideas really quick. It's fantastic for building chord progressions. And you have inversions and strumming. You can't hear the strumming as well on like a pad, for instance, but you get the idea. You can even tilt it. There's articulations, all of that good stuff. But the new things are inside of editing your own chord. So first and foremost, we have this learn feature. And when you click a learn, it allows you to play actual chords. Like it's going to do one note at a time. It's not picking chords. But if you make an actual chord, custom chord. Look, I don't know chords, so. So there's an A diminished. When you click it again, it's going to save the last chord that you played right here. A diminished. Okay, and now every time I click that key on my keyboard, I got to figure out where it's at. Is it up octave? Down octave. There it is. So now that adds it to my arsenal. Another thing you can do is this copy. Basically, it allows you to copy this to a different place. So you can click wherever you want it to be, and it puts that in there. So now you can move it around everywhere that you want. Let's say I want it to be there. I can, boom, copy it there. Oh, look, you can even play the... Okay, I'm not using my mouse. I'm going to use my keyboard. Wherever you play on your keyboard, it'll copy it there. And I don't think it really copies. It just moves it, right? So if I press it, boom, is it still over here? Okay, so it did. It did copy it. There we go. Okay, so I'm wrong. It did copy it. So you can pick where it's at, and it copies it. That's cool. The other thing that's new is you can transpose these as well. It makes it a D, go up a couple, F sharp. Now the one that we copied is going to stay the same, right? There you go. So you can transpose the individual ones now as well. And I believe you can transpose these, but that's always been there because I think all the updates were really just in this editing mode right here. So that's the updates to Expressive chords. And this is a dope little plugin. It's so good for coming up with, you know, different chords and things, especially if you don't know how to play them or if you don't want to spend the time. That's all right here. And the strumming and everything, it goes wild. So yeah, fam, that's testing it. That's in action right now. There's a couple smaller updates that, I don't know, like there's some small changes to the UI, like how things are laid out. Really small things that aren't worth going over in this video. I wanted to keep this short and succinct. But I appreciate everyone for coming out today. Definitely check out the last video. Like I said, it's linked below if you want to see every single new detail. We went through it. We watched the Ableton videos and we reacted to it the whole entire way. So definitely check out that video next and stay tuned because we're going to be making individual videos on each of the features in more detail so that you guys know every single thing about them. Appreciate you for coming along, man.